Starting up, this is, let's see, this is Phoenix Guides mob number 16, I think. Yes, 16. And so let me post some links for you here. We got the, are you already in here? By the way, here with the Euclidish, and that's the C9. And I'll also post the Ecto. No, that's not it. It's this one. The Ecto link. And so I think I'm sharing my screen. I need to do another thing, which is supposed to link to general. So that should post. And let me just double check. And I also need to grab the YouTube link and post that. So I'll do that. Actually, I'll do that here first. Oh, the weird error we're getting there. But I think if I go here, yeah, and post right here. There we go, and I'll just post one more to Phoenix one. Okay, so let's get on to the C9. We need to cd into hello, and we need to do sudo service postgres ul start, and that worked. Over here I will do IEX interactive elixir shell, capital X for script, mix phx.server. Got started. I'll head over here to open up the app, and we're good to go. This is from presence, when we worked on presence. So I'll close this up, and finally we will move on to Ecto. Maybe we can get all this done here today, maybe not. So Ecto is like the database wrapper for Phoenix. It has adapters for Postgres, MySQL, Microsoft's Microsoft SQL Service, SQLite 3, MongoDB. Right, and then if you want a little more in depth getting started guide, you could go here to the Ecto getting started guide. And
okay.
Yeah, it's a little more. It would take a lot longer. So there's that. You can also check out the commands here. Someone had a question. They had, if I go to right here, a new person had a question. They had this error that they're getting password authentication failed for user Postgres. I think they just started maybe the Phoenix guides themselves. And so I gave them a link to Mixed Task, which is what I just went to right now, right here. And I'm thinking they might have maybe this error right here.
Yeah.
And they need to modify that config dev exs file. So I just gave them a link to that. But anyway, that's linked right here on the Ecto guides. We're working on this section right here. We already took care of all this right here in the very first session. So if anyone's watching the recording and wants to go back to see how to do it on the C9, we post, let's see, Phoenix assumes we have Postgres and Postgres user and Postgres password. So that's what all these commands do right here. And then finally, what we're going to do is create a schema here, generate a schema with a user. It's actually a user schema because we're not doing models anymore in Phoenix 1.3. So it's a user schema module, users database. Actually, do you want to run this, Euclides, this command right here?
Yeah, of course. But before, what is a schema actually? It's like a table, and
Yeah. Well, okay. So it's sort of we're gonna create this migration right here, and we're also gonna have this user schema. We'll see it here in a minute. We need to create it first with this generation command.
Okay.
But it's sort of what tells Phoenix. It's sort of like in between Phoenix and the database Postgres. It sort of tells each side the structure of this particular. Well, it used to be a model, right? But now it's like it's called a schema module.
Okay.
So of this schema.
Let's say it's like a shadow of a table or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. We specify right here the precise table. This will be the table that we use, users. That'll be like within Postgres, it'll be users. And we're going to give them all these fields right here.
Yeah. Have a name, email, bio, number of pets. Okay, let me just go ahead and create this.
Okay. So,
can you see my screen? I guess I'm sharing already.
Yeah. No, not yet.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let me just paste that.
All right, looks like that worked. So yeah, if we open up hello and go down to lib hello, this file was just created right there with hello. And we could open that up and see, like, specifically right here.
Yeah.
I forgot what this is called. Schema. I think it might even say it right there. Schema definition, maybe. Yeah, I think that might be what it's called. Or schema definition.
I think it is schema definition.
Yeah, and then here's what we're gonna work on here, the change set here in a minute. Yeah, so that's what that is. Then it also created the migration. So if I could find this, it's in priv.
Yeah, it's in priv, repo, migrations, and the timestamp number, and create user that.
All right. So if we look at these side by side, they're very similar. The only real difference is, like, this is a function, and it's usually change. And right here, for this migration, it's create table. It could also be like alter table. And we're using an atom there instead of a string right here, but they're very similar otherwise. And the migration, right, it's sort of specifically doing the changes for Postgres. When we run, I guess we could run that command, mix ecto migrate.
Migrate.
Yeah. So yeah, I could run that, I guess. And then we'll be able to actually go into our table, so create table users. Right, okay. Let me just sort of walk through what it tells us here to do. it does mention you could use mix in when we run mix commands. This is usually prod, dev, or prob, dev. What am I forgetting? Test or test. And it assumes dev. So when you run like mixexo migrate, if this was like prod, for example, it would create the table that it just created would say hello prod. But if you don't give it a variable mixemp, it assumes it's dev. That's why it created hello dev, and we could go in there right now with this command. Yes, I think this should work. So we got that same error that that other user got. Now, let's see here, Postgres. Did we create? Yeah, we took care of that in the first session, like I said. I think we might need to give it a host, maybe.
To the Postgres?
Yeah, perhaps. If we go into that dev file, let's see, lib config dev, and see, hostname won't actually be localhost, it'll be okay. Actually, let me go into config. And okay, if this doesn't work, I'll just pull up that medium. Okay, hang on. We started Postgres, right? Yeah, we did that. That's not the problem. Host is localhost. And localhost is defined right here. Okay, so something that I'm tempted to do is just to look at that medium blog. So if I look up, actually, if I go into, I think it's in the README, right? Here, because I think there's a specific command that we used, and it's actually right here. Did we post that in here? Okay, no, we did not. So if I do a search here for a medium, I might pull up that blog post. And I think it's just specifying the localhost. If I can find it here. And that's not it. I guess if I look up C9, I thought it'd be here faster. Let's see, C9. Oh, interesting. Also, if we go into Premium Extra and look it up there, C9, I know it's in here. This is for if you're a premium member. Is this it? Nope. think it's this one right here. Okay.
Okay.
So I think the command is
So
could it just be that? So we might try that. Could it just be sudo? Huh.
yeah, maybe. Let's try.
Okay, so
Sudo dash u postgre psql.
yeah, that's all it was. Okay. and I also the capital U, lowercase u, maybe that was it. I'm not sure if it makes a difference. But anyway, in the over here in the Ectos, they say, okay, so look up. So first of all, connect to that hello dev. Would you like to do that? This command right here.
No, to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into that database. Hello dev.
Yeah. We connected.
And then dash or let's see \d
\d to list
yeah
the relations.
Yeah, and there we go. The users table, schema migrations table. Yeah, so I mean we could explore that a little bit, but I'm kind of tempted to just try to move along here. Yeah, so anyway, I guess we verified that that works. You could do Command Q to exit, and not Command Q, \Q. We already looked at this, the migration, create hello user.
Yeah, we work it. We have our database table.
Yeah, and then okay, so they actually, if you want to go back in and look at the actual users table, you could do that, I guess. So yeah. And it's \d space users. Yeah, okay, so it's showing all that. Now, did we add anything and then did I miss that? I don't think so. Number of pets. Yeah, no, they were just talking about the time stamp that creates the insert at and the update at.
Yeah.
That's basically the same as Rails. So then the hello repo, this was created when we ran mix ecto create. Yeah, and this just sort of sets up the repo on Phoenix for us, the hello repo, and then this is what connects to the actual database. And so they mention, okay, they mention configuring like the passwords here, right? That gets created when we create the app Phoenix New with Postgres. So here is where we finally get to something interesting here, which is the user schema. And so we already took a look at that, but now we're going to start looking at what changed that. Yeah, what they do in the validations. And so we're going to get a little bit of practice, I guess, in the shell, right? Yeah, in the shell. So we're already in the IX shell. And so I'll just head over there and alias our
hello user.
Hello user, thank you. And yes, so that is this one right here. So if I just push enter, alias, actually, we did run those migrations. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to restart the server for that. So let me just do that. Or at least restart the shell. But I'll do both right here with this. And so we alias hello user. So now we can just use user. And right, so we're going to create a change set here. This what it's doing. So now we just have to use user instead of hello user. It's calling this method right here, and once again, that's over here in our user right here. So this is when we ran that generation command. That's what created this, and so we're calling this function right here, which is actually a couple of functions, a couple of Ecto change set functions. We're importing there. So this is Ecto change set cast, Ecto change set validate require. And yeah, so let me see what they say. Okay. I'll create it right here for us.
Yeah, great.
And let's see, go back here. No, to right here. Push enter. And yes, so it returned it for us. And so it ran through that file right here. And when it got to the validate require, it noticed that we don't have any name changes, don't have any email, bio, number of pets. And that's why it gave us all these can't be blanks. And it's referencing validation required. So that's our errors. Yeah.
Because they require the attributes.
Exactly. We passed in the user struct.
Yeah.
And we passed in an empty map of parameters. So we made no updates basically. And that's why we got that error. Let me see what they say to do here. They say, would you like to run this command just to verify that we get invalid?
Change set is valid, okay.
And that'll be actually evident in that change set that got returned just now. It should say valid false for us. You could also run just the errors, change set errors.
Change set valid. Oh, yeah, false. Check for the errors.
Yeah, and that'll just print this section of the change set right there.
Yeah.
So that's convenient. And now what do they say? Now let's make number of pets optional. So if we go back to our user schema and we take out number of pets right here, and we need to take out that comma. So now we're saying, so this is our attributes, that's our empty map. And we're passing it in right there. That's our user struct. It's passed into cast with our parameter updates. and we're saying that these are the updates that are permitted. We could add more, we could add less, but actually we can't add, we have to have at least these three right here. So now we made number of pets optional. It will get updated, but it's only optional now. And I guess we could try that. We may have to, I think they say something like reload, recompile. So if you know on recompile.
Yeah.
Actually, let me save it first. I forgot to save it. So I took out number of pets. And now if you want to recompile, in our shell, just recompile command. And then we're going to run that same command. Yeah, that one right there. Right, and so now I guess we could run change set errors again, which will, it'll be a little shorter.
Yeah.
So now it's not showing the, what was it? It was
Number of
of
pets.
pets. Correct. It's not in error right there anymore. And I think they say, so now we go in the opposite direction. Now we add a random key to our updates. And we're going to see what that does basically. And this one's very long, so I'll just copy it. Right.
So at this time he's trying to insert an unpermitted attribute, right? With a
exactly.
value.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got it.
So what it's going to do, and actually, a little too much. So we're putting this map of changes, which is like this right here that we're about to pass into there. So if we update it to here, actually right here.
Best params then.
Exactly, params. Now our change set looks different, and here are the changes. You'll notice, so that's what came back right after it ran through all this pipeline right here, and it gave us back a change set. And it's a little confusing because, first of all, this is change set, the function, and it's within this change set module. Actually, the change set function gets created by Phoenix. The way I remember it is whenever you have this, that's essentially what this is. These other functions. Whenever you have this, it'll return a change set, and that's how I remember it. If you can remember that these are coming from the change set module that you import, what you get back from here, we're passing in a user struct into here. This is essentially the same. Right there, and comma.
Yeah, with the pipe operator, he's passing the user as a first argument to the next function.
Right, and so it's a little confusing in that this function is called change set.
Yeah.
We're importing these functions cast and validate required from the change set module. And on top of that, it's returning something that's called a change set. So it might be very confusing. And that's what this is right here, this change set, this entire thing right here. Yes, this entire thing right there is a change set that we're, when we call our own function change set, it returns it. We put it in this change set variable to add a fourth change set. This could be, change set 3 or dog. It could be anything, right? That's just a variable. So now we have the change set. Now it's showing us that our changes do not include that random key that we added right here. And that's all because within here, within our sort of our updates, our permissions, we don't have that column. We don't have random key.
It's not a permitted attribute.
Exactly.
But in this case, it did not return to us any error. It only removed it from the return change set, right?
Correct. And the reason for that is because we actually finally we added name, email, bio,
all the required and item permitted.
Exactly. And we put them in the params map, and we passed it in when we called it this time instead of an empty map. So that's why we get these changes. We could run change set dot changes, and it'll show us this what we have right here. And notice that we could run valid, and it'll say true this time. And that's what they say actually to run those two things that I just said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we could run those quickly. So, no errors. That's an empty array.
It's empty. Valid true.
And then we could run just changes. And that does not include the random key. And notice it does include number of pets, even though it's not required, but it is permitted.
Yeah.
So now what do they do next? So now they add these other validations. So would you like to modify our change set function within our user schema and add this validate length?
Yeah.
What it's doing
is it's validating the bio attribute with a minimum of 2.
Of 2 characters. Exactly. And if you do that, I'll update our change set. And I guess we'll have to recompile, right? Yeah.
Let me just find it. I think it's here. Yeah.
And also, while you're doing that, I'll take these out right here. Yeah, so that one's also from Ecto change set. And it's validate length.
Bio 2.
All right, perfect. Yeah, if you want to save that, I'll have to recompile. Let's recompile, then I'll update our change set. And just so that we don't have so many change sets, I'll make this CS.
Yeah, good.
So CS. And this one, by the way, notice it only has one character that we're passing in to our attributes.
Yeah, we expect not attend.
And just automatically, where was it? Right here. Should be at least count characters, which is interesting. Yeah, so I think that, okay, there's count right there, count. And I think like if we had if this was like for a form or something, this would print out like in a flash. It would actually, we would pass it in our chain set. It would actually go into our errors.
Yeah, return to the view.
Exactly.
Feedback to the user.
Yes, and then we'll print out that line, and it would actually say 2 right there.
Yeah.
So great, we got that done. And then I think we just do a few more. Right, validate length to 140. So I'll add that one. Save that, and
there's no way to set the min and max in the same line. You have to type a lot of validate length lines.
Well, we could investigate that here, perhaps, if we go into, let's see, Ecto. Capital C, right? Change set.
Change that.
And then we do
validate length.
Right, tab. Actually, if we do H, so when we're in IEX,
a helper.
Yeah, in IEX we do H. When we're outside of IEX, we do help. So this should show.
Okay, good to know. Didn't know about that.
Yeah, and it looks like we can do both on the same line. So yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's way more beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot faster. So yeah, it's not that much right there. Okay. Code is, and I guess we could also do a precise length, which is interesting. Like it has to be 2 characters or 9 characters exactly. It looks like what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we recompile and yeah, I mean, let's see here, 140 characters. Is this 140 characters? Kind of a lot there. And this is for a bio. Okay. Let's figure out if this passes our validation. Pretty long right there. Oh, couldn't use that, which is interesting. Show it. So I just copied a random line there. But if I take that out, just add a few more, and then try again. You know what it's doing? So I got this.
Yeah, it's a lot of this, so it's getting confused. I think
all the quotes. Yeah, it's getting confused with all the quotes. So that was kind of a bad example. If I go to the README and or maybe this other README, it's almost not worth it here. Or I guess we could go to here.
Yeah.
This looks like it's more than 140. Copy that. Go back here. And let's actually go to this one. copy all that, and let's see what we got. Should be at most. Yeah, it looks like we passed it.
Yeah.
So that's the error right there. It did not give us the other error, which was the minimum. Yeah. Okay. So that was interesting. I guess we should try to wrap up. We got 10 minutes. We did the minimum. We did the maximum right there. We know that we could do both. It's real simple. And okay, so this just a little bit of regex. Would you like to add this validation for our email attribute?
Yeah.
And it's not the greatest validation of the format. Notice it's format, by the way. Validate format. It's just checking that there's an at symbol. And so if you're doing that, I will add this line right here, which does not have an at symbol. And just let me know once you got it. Okay, did you save it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And I will recompile. Then I will modify. Oh, I guess I took it all out. CS.
Yeah, with no at symbol.
Right. So that should give us an error of the format. And what do we got? That has invalid format. And yeah, it's not the greatest error message. Has invalid format. But I guess.
Yeah, user can ask about what's the correct format. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we could check on that. Like, see if there's like, if we could extend that error message a little bit. Validate format. That's actually showing the same example. Yeah, we could pass it.
Yeah.
Message. Yeah. So it would be real simple right here.
Nice.
That's actually. Is it like this? Add at symbol. Okay, yeah. And then if I go back here, compile, pass it in again, right there. And yes, we get add and at symbol.
Yeah.
That's a lot better error message. So that's great. We got this done right here. Yeah, we could have ran that, but we've done that several times. Actually, that's interesting because they're using, since errors is a map, we can do the email atom, just like that, I guess. And that's actually C. It would be CS.
Oh. Yeah. CS. Yeah.
So now, finally, in the last few minutes, we let's see. I forgot what this was. This was data persistence. I think we're actually gonna get into. Okay, yeah. We're gonna do some database querying here. So let's see. This hello. This is a shortcut way to do alias of multiple modules.
Modules. Yeah.
We could do that. We already had user, so now we could do repo a lot faster. And yes. So before we do this, so we're going to do a couple inserts here. We're going to do that insert of that user and this one for user 2. But before we do that, maybe you want to run this command right here for us, repo.all user, to see what it gives us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so repo.all and pass in the user that we have alias right there. And that's the user struct. Or it's actually the user module. So what do we got there?
An empty array. Because we don't have any inserted user.
Right. So now let's head back now that we have that empty array, and I'll add these here, repo.insert. And so this is going directly into our repo file, so just before I do that, I'll paste it in there. If we go into our, let's see, is it our lib hello repo? And notice it's not even here, but it's actually, since we're using ecto.repo functionality, and that's how when we do the repo command, so we alias hello repo just now, which is really going into ecto repo for the repo insert.
Yeah, looking for the insert function there.
Yeah, and that's how we're getting into Postgres basically through ecto. So we're going to pass in the user struct with email user1, and that passes back. Right. And right now we could, for example, we could go into, are we connected? And a sudo, right? Sudo here.
Connect. Yeah.
And actually we would be doing at that, we would do like from select, right?
Select all, yeah, from users.
Give us nothing. Why did it give us nothing? So that's essentially, if we go back here, we're going to do that here in a second. If we do, this is sort of the long way. But anyway, they're doing from users. Maybe I need quotes, perhaps. Select. No, that's interesting. Okay, users, we did check that, right? Yeah, that I would think that would work. Hello, we're in the dev environment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we may come back to that. Let's not get caught up there. Let's try to finish since we're almost done and we're out of time. Let's just run through these real quickly, and maybe worry about that at the end. So we got that one inserted. I'll insert this one here, and right, and then so we got that done. Then right. So now, if you want to rerun that command, repo all user.
Yeah, of course.
It should essentially do what I was trying to do directly.
PSQL.
Yeah. And yeah, we got both the users there, user 2, user 1. And just finally here, these last few bits here, kind of like what we were trying to do here. If we want to do a query so this is sort of, I guess we're using sort of this functionality in query from Ecto query. And I think they link it here somewhere down here at the bottom, I think, right here. So if you want to look up how to do it like from the shell instead of pSQL, all these kind of like what I was doing there from you, how to construct all the queries, you could look those up. The way we're doing it here is, first of all, we're sort of adding the U to be users, and then we're actually I skipped it, right? We did just run this one right here. So we're going to select, kind of like I was trying to do, from users, from the user table, the emails, right? So we're just going to get back the emails. So the way to do that is with this one, this command there. Let's make sure that that works. And we got a compilation there in the find function from. So I think that's just because we did not import query.
Yeah.
I did not do that.
Ecto query.
So if I do that and then try that, there we go. We get an array of our emails, which is what I wanted to do. So that's the email field of our table, and from our users table. So yeah, I wonder if I do, let's say, okay, I wonder if I do this one, just, I won't get stuck on this, but if I just try it, no, it's just not, okay.
Okay, let me try this one. Oh, from tickets users.
Syntax here. Oh yeah, you're adding the, yeah, that's probably it. So even though I did say error, yeah, that always trips me up, that semicolon. But it didn't work, huh? Oops, sorry, go ahead.
Try that.
Okay, I'll try it. You know what it was? So here's what it is. so we connected into the users table. Then we ran this very long command basically, because it didn't get that delimiter, that semicolon until the very end. So if we just do,
it was all about the missing semicolon.
Right? Yeah, there we go. There's our table with our 2 users. There's our email field.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So now, okay, good catch right there. That always trips me up when, like, the first time when I haven't used, SQL for a while, I always forget that semicolon. So good catch there. So let me run this command, which is gonna give us, let's see, so where the email address has a 1 in it is basically what it's doing right there. We're using the where, and that I like is for that, for this part right here.
Yeah.
So I'll just run that command quickly here. And oh yeah, and that's the count. So we have 1 of those. We could also do, I guess, the 2. And that's the same. 0, I guess. And this should be 0. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we got 1 more command here. Yeah, this one right here, which is, what's this one doing? This one is, this one's interesting. It's creating a map for us. So it's going in there and it's giving us a map with the IDs and the emails. So that's what we're gonna get back. And it actually might be ID 1 and ID 2, I think. Because if we go back here, yeah, our IDs are 1 and 2. If I just run that one, we got ID 1. So this is a map right here with the IDs. So it's sort of mapping a map with the RD and our email.
Yeah. Right.
And we are done. We're just a little late, but I guess we started late, right? So they say there's these other functionalities here. Like I said, go into the query documentation for more info on that. It's pretty big. We're not going to go through that.
The REPL all function always return arrays.
Yeah, I think so. That's what we got, right? Every time. I think so.
Yeah, I was wondering, even if there was only one value of one.
So I mean, we could do this. Actually, before I do that, let me do a tab. So we actually have an all 2, which is, oh well, that's what we've been running. I think here somewhere. Maybe not. But let me just do that real quickly. See if it tells us what it returns here. Looks like it doesn't actually tell us right there.
Yeah, okay.
But I think so. I think we could look it up in the documentation. But we could save that for Ecto documentation. And then if we Ecto functions, And actually, I'm not seeing the repo one. It's
Yeah, the repo right there. Yeah.
hmm.
Oh, two.
Oh yes, yes.
Oh, with the arity of two.
And fish is all. I'm not seeing. The schema.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, it's
think
not.
that answers our question. I think it always returns an array.
Yeah, it's not. It's not perfectly clear here for us. It could be a little more explicit, but yeah, and especially since we did that first one right before we did repo all, and it was an empty array.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got through that, and so tomorrow, not tomorrow, I think we're gonna start running these once a week, maybe on Wednesdays. I'm gonna run a survey.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any day of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday that you prefer?
To do the mob, and
Yeah,
I don't know. On Monday we got a Perry session, right?
correct.
Yeah, but for me, it could be on Tuesday, on Wednesday.
Okay.
It just happened that this past day I was, I think, as I say in the beginning, that I'm into learning all the stuff about DDD and all the things, and I couldn't attend to the mobs, but I'm cool with Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm cool with.
Yeah, and by the way, we're moving the live scrum and the retro tomorrow. It's a live scrum to the same time. So really, everything is at 3 p.m. UTC for right now. That's so that like Laura can attend. And
Cool.
so I'm gonna do a survey for like I guess Friday for next week. We're gonna start doing these just once a week now
Mm-hmm.
because I think everybody is burnt out on these mobs, and we will work on context. So not models, but context
Yeah,
for that
I
time.
think maybe people are kind of tired and just want to get to the tasks already. You know,
Yeah, perhaps.
kind
Yeah,
of start building things and.
yeah. So so thank you, Euclides, for joining me.
Yeah, not at all. Thank you.
Yeah, and I guess I'll see you next time.
Yep.